Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive. We're going to be talking about the link between physical health and happiness.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, we often think of happiness as like this feeling, right? The
Right.
state of mind.
Right.
But get this, your physical health plays a huge role in your ability to actually feel happy.
It's funny how often people try to separate mental and physical well-being
Oh, yeah.
as if they're totally different things, but in reality, they're totally intertwined,
Hmm.
like threads in a tapestry.
Oh, like that.
If one thread weakens, the whole thing can unravel.
Right. Okay, so let's dive into this tapestry analogy.
Okay.
When you neglect your physical health,
Uh-huh.
your energy levels just plummet. And even the smallest tasks
Oh, yeah.
start to feel impossible.
Exactly like trying to power a car with an empty tank.
Right.
You just can't engage with life fully or find the joy in things,
Hmm.
even simple everyday things.
Right.
It's like being stuck in neutral, unable to move
So
forward.
it's not just about feeling tired then.
No, it goes way deeper than that.
Okay.
What's fascinating is that your physical habits, like what you eat,
Huh?
how much you exercise, they directly impact your brain chemistry.
Hmm.
Think about those mood-regulating chemicals like serotonin and dopamine.
The ones that make you happy.
Exactly, the ones that make you feel good.
Okay.
When you're neglecting your physical health, you're messing with their production.
So it's like I'm sabotaging my own happiness without even realizing it.
In a way, yes. And studies show that neglecting your physical health can also make you more susceptible to stress.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like neglecting the maintenance on your car.
Right.
If you don't take care of it, it's more likely to break down when you hit a bump in the road.
Right.
So similarly, when you don't prioritize your physical health,
Yeah.
you're less equipped to handle those inevitable curveballs life throws your way.
Yeah. That's a good point. And that constant state of stress definitely doesn't make it easy to feel happy.
Exactly. Stress and happiness don't really mix.
Right. And what about self-esteem? Does that play a role here?
Absolutely. Taking care of your body through exercise or healthy eating can give you a real sense of accomplishment,
Oh, yeah.
like you're investing in yourself, and that boosts your self-worth.
But on the flip side, when you neglect your health,
Mm,
it's easy to feel guilty and dissatisfied,
right.
which just chips away at your happiness.
Exactly. It's a vicious cycle feeding on itself.
Okay, so we've established that physical health and happiness are connected.
Yes.
Now let's get specific.
Let's do it.
First up, the food we eat.
Okay.
Is it really as simple as you are what you eat?
There's definitely some truth to that saying.
Okay.
It's about so much more than just counting calories.
Right.
Consider how you feel after a meal loaded with sugar and processed foods.
Ooh, yeah.
You get that initial burst of energy, but then,
Crash. The dreaded energy slump.
yes, exactly. And those energy roller coasters can really mess with your mood,
Yeah.
making it hard to maintain a consistent level of happiness.
Right, and there's also this whole gut-brain connection.
Yes.
What's the deal with that?
Now, this is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Your gut is like your second brain, and it's in constant communication with your actual brain.
Really?
What you eat impacts the balance of bacteria in your gut,
Mm.
and this can influence your mood and even how well your brain functions.
Wait, so you're saying that what I eat can impact how well my brain works?
Absolutely. Imagine your gut bacteria as this bustling community,
Okay.
sending messages to your brain through this network of nerves and chemicals.
Mm.
When you feed your gut with healthy foods,
Like fruits and vegetables.
exactly, fruits, vegetables, fermented foods, you're supporting a healthy balance of bacteria,
Okay.
which then sends these positive signals to your brain.
So it's like a feedback loop.
Exactly. It can lead to improvements in mood, focus, and even reduce anxiety.
That's amazing.
Ah.
What about those studies that suggest deficiencies in specific nutrients can contribute to mood disorders?
It's true. We're talking about key nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids, B, vitamins, and magnesium. When you're not getting enough of these through your diet,
Mm-hmm.
it's like running your car on low-quality fuel.
Right.
Your engine might sputter, and you're not going to perform at your best.
Oh, okay.
These deficiencies can make you more vulnerable to anxiety, depression, and other mood imbalances.
So a balanced diet isn't just about looking good. It's about giving your brain the fuel it needs to thrive.
Precisely. And don't forget about the emotional side of food.
What do you mean?
You know those feelings of guilt and shame
Oh, yeah?
that can hit after overeating those highly processed or sugary
I know
foods?
those feelings all too well.
Yeah, that guilt can really impact your self-esteem
Uh-huh.
and ultimately your happiness. It's like a self-inflicted wound.
So it's not just the physical effects of food, but the emotional and mental ones too. It's all
Eh,
connected.
Yes, it's all intertwined.
Okay, let's move on to exercise.
Okay.
Everyone knows it's good for you, but how does it actually boost happiness?
Well, think of exercise as a natural mood booster.
Hmm.
When you're physically active, your body releases a flood of those feel-good chemicals.
Right, the endorphins.
Exactly. Endorphins, dopamine, serotonin.
That feeling of euphoria after a good workout.
Exactly, but it's not just a fleeting feeling.
Oh,
Regular exercise can have a lasting impact on your mood,
okay.
reducing stress and boosting your overall well-being.
So it's like building up a resilience bank account,
I like that analogy.
making deposits of those good chemicals
Yeah.
to help you handle life's withdrawals,
I love it. And we can't forget that exercise helps regulate your sleep patterns, too.
which we know is super important for feeling good.
Exactly. We'll dive into that a bit later.
Okay, so exercise boosts mood, helps you sleep better.
Uh-huh.
But what about stress? Can exercise really help with that?
Absolutely. Exercise is one of the most powerful stress relievers out there.
Hmm.
It helps counteract those negative effects of stress hormones like cortisol.
So exercise is building up your defenses, making you more resilient in the face of challenges.
Exactly. And that, in turn, helps you feel happier
Right.
because you're better able to cope with whatever life throws your way.
It all comes back to that tapestry analogy.
Yes,
Each thread strengthens the whole.
that's right.
And let's not forget the sense of accomplishment
Yes.
that comes with completing a workout, even a small one.
Absolutely. That feeling of achievement, no matter how big or small,
Right.
adds to your overall sense of well-being
Yeah.
and can even motivate you to make healthier choices in other areas of your life.
It's like a positive ripple effect.
Exactly.
Okay, now, before we move on to sleep, I want to touch on something that's often overlooked,
Okay.
the social aspect of exercise.
Ah, yes. Engaging in physical activities with others can provide that valuable social interaction
Right.
that we all need.
We're social creatures.
Exactly, whether it's joining a sports team,
Yeah.
taking a group fitness class, or even just going for a walk with a friend.
Uh-huh.
Those shared experiences can really help combat loneliness
Okay.
and foster a sense of belonging.
And we know that feeling connected is a key ingredient for happiness.
Absolutely. It satisfies that innate human need for connection and support, which
Right.
is so essential for your overall well-being.
Okay, we've covered diet and exercise.
Yes.
Two major pillars of physical health.
Uh-huh.
Now let's talk about the often neglected but incredibly important factor, sleep.
Yes, sleep.
Why is it so crucial for happiness?
Sleep is like hitting the reset button for both your body and mind. It's the cornerstone of physical and mental well-being.
Right.
But unfortunately, it's also something that many of us sacrifice in
Yeah.
our busy modern lives.
That's true. We're constantly pushing ourselves to do more, stay up later, and squeeze in every last minute of productivity.
Right.
But what are the consequences of skimping on sleep?
Well, studies have shown that chronic sleep deprivation
Uh-huh.
throws off the balance of those mood-regulating chemicals in your brain. This can make you more irritable or more emotionally sensitive and less able to cope with stress.
Yeah.
It's like walking around with a short fuse ready to snap at any moment.
I think we've all been there.
And it's not just about feeling grumpy.
Right.
Lack of sleep also impairs your cognitive function.
Mm.
It affects your focus, your memory, your decision-making.
It's like trying to think through a fog.
Exactly. Even simple tasks feel overwhelming.
Yeah.
And that can lead to a cascade of negative feelings. Frustration, decreased productivity, lowered self-esteem, none of which are conducive to happiness.
Definitely not.
So lack of sleep triggers the release of cortisol,
Right, the stress hormone.
the primary stress hormone.
Okay.
So not only are you dealing with the negative effects of sleep deprivation,
Right.
but you're also making yourself more vulnerable to the damaging effects of stress.
It's a double whammy.
Exactly, a double whammy. And to make matters worse,
Yeah.
not getting enough sleep leaves you feeling physically drained, robbing you of the energy you need to do the things you enjoy.
Right, you're running on fumes.
Exactly. You just don't have the energy or the motivation to pursue hobbies.
Wow.
Connect with loved ones, or do the things that make life feel meaningful.
It's like a domino effect. Lack of sleep impacts your mood,
Uh-huh.
your energy, and even your ability to handle stress.
Absolutely.
all of which can significantly impact your happiness.
Precisely. And it's important to remember that chronic sleep deprivation
Yeah,
is linked to an increased risk of anxiety and depression.
that's a serious concern.
It is.
When you consistently neglect your sleep, you're putting your mental health at risk,
Yeah.
and that can have a devastating impact on your overall happiness and quality of life.
Absolutely. Sleep is not a luxury. It's a necessity.
Okay, so we've established that sleep is essential
It is.
for both our physical and mental well-being.
Yes.
But let's be realistic, in today's fast-paced world, it's so easy to neglect our health.
It is. It can almost feel inevitable.
It does, right?
Yeah.
So why do we fall into these patterns of neglect?
Well, it's important to understand the reasons, because once we understand them, we can start to develop strategies to break free.
Right. So what are those reasons?
Our sources point to our busy, often overwhelming lifestyles as a major culprit.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're constantly juggling work, family, social commitments.
Exactly. And it's easy to let healthy habits fall by the wayside
Right.
when we're constantly rushing from one thing to the next.
And sometimes those unhealthy choices offer a quick fix,
Yes.
like a moment of relief in the midst of chaos.
Exactly.
Grabbing fast food on the go or staying up late to binge watch our favorite show.
Right. It's the allure of instant gratification. Those unhealthy habits offer a moment of pleasure or distraction. But as we've discussed, the long-term cost to our happiness can be significant.
It's like trading long-term well-being for a quick hit of satisfaction.
Exactly.
And speaking of awareness, the sources also highlight how many people are unaware of the impact their physical health has on their mental and emotional states.
That's a crucial point. We often compartmentalize our health, failing to see the interconnectedness of our physical, mental, and emotional well-being.
It's like we're operating with blinders on,
Exactly.
not realizing that neglecting one area can have ripple effects throughout our entire being.
Precisely. And finally, we have to acknowledge that feeling of overwhelm
Right.
that can make lifestyle changes feel so daunting.
Especially when you're already stressed or tired.
Exactly. When you're running on empty, the thought of adding another thing to your to-do list, even if it's something beneficial, like starting an exercise routine, can feel completely overwhelming.
Absolutely. So how do we overcome that feeling of overwhelm and start making positive changes?
It's important to approach lifestyle changes with compassion and understanding.
Okay.
Small, sustainable steps are far more effective
Right.
than trying to overhaul everything at once.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Speaking of small steps, let's shift gears
Okay.
and talk about some practical strategies for improving our physical health and boosting our happiness.
Yeah.
You don't need to make drastic changes to see significant improvements.
That's encouraging. So where should we start?
Let's start with nutrition.
Okay.
What does balanced nutrition actually look like in practice?
It's about incorporating more whole, unprocessed foods into your diet.
Okay.
Things like fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats.
Got it.
It's equally important to reduce your intake of sugar and processed foods.
Right. Those are the sneaky culprits.
Exactly. They can wreak havoc on your energy levels and mood.
So it's not about deprivation
No,
or following restrictive diets.
not at all.
It's about making conscious choices
Yes.
to nourish your body with the nutrients it needs
Exactly.
to thrive.
To thrive.
Okay, and along with nourishing your body through food, we need to move our body.
Yes. Aim for at least 30 minutes of physical activity most days of the week.
I know what you're thinking. 30 minutes, where am I going to find the time?
Right. But here's the thing.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a grueling workout at the gym. It's about finding activities you genuinely enjoy and can fit into your lifestyle. It could be a brisk walk in nature,
Yeah?
a dance class,
Right.
a bike ride,
Yeah.
or even just playing with your kids at the park.
Right.
The key is to move your body in a way that feels good
Okay.
and is sustainable for you.
And what about sleep? We know it's essential, but how do we actually prioritize it?
Creating a relaxing bedtime routine can work wonders.
Like what?
Start by winding down an hour or two before bed.
Okay.
Dim the lights,
Ah.
disconnect from electronic devices,
Okay.
take a warm bath or read a book.
Right.
It's about signaling to your body and mind
Mhm.
that it's time to rest and recharge.
And aim for 7-9 hours of quality sleep each night.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of consistency.
Okay.
When it comes to building healthy habits, consistency is key.
So start small and focus on making gradual, sustainable changes.
Absolutely. It's better to build one healthy habit at a time
Right.
than try to overhaul your entire lifestyle overnight.
And don't forget hydration.
Yes, staying hydrated is crucial.
Drinking enough water.
Yes,
Right.
water is essential for every bodily function,
Uh-huh.
and even mild dehydration can impact your energy levels, your mood, and your cognitive function.
Okay, so we need to make sure we're sipping on that H2O throughout the day.
Exactly. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, practice self-compassion.
What do you mean by that?
Don't beat yourself up if you slip up,
Okay.
or have a day where you don't quite meet your goals.
We're all human.
We're all human life happens.
It's time.
It's about progress, not perfection.
Right. Celebrate the small victories.
Exactly.
Okay, now let's bring all of this to life with some real-world examples.
Okay.
Our sources outline some common scenarios where neglecting physical health can really take a toll on happiness.
This is where we can see how these concepts play out
Uh-huh.
in different lifestyles and circumstances.
Right. Let's start with the busy professional.
Okay.
Imagine someone working long hours, constantly on the go, and feeling the pressure to perform.
It's a common scenario.
Yeah.
And in this situation, meals often get skipped,
Right.
or convenience takes precedence over nutrition.
Yeah, it's easy to fall into the trap of relying on fast food or sugary snacks
Exactly.
for a quick energy boost.
But as we discussed, those choices lead to those energy crashes and mood swings, making it even harder to cope with the demands of a high-pressure job.
The stress just compounds.
Exactly, leading to burnout and a diminished sense of happiness and fulfillment.
So what's a simple change that could make a difference in this scenario?
Preparing healthy snacks and meals in advance can be a game changer.
So it's about setting yourself up for success
Exactly.
by having nutritious options readily available,
Yes.
even when time is tight.
Precisely, and it doesn't have to be complicated.
Okay.
Something as simple as a bag of almonds or a piece of fruit
Uh-huh.
or hard-boiled egg can provide sustained energy
Right.
and prevent those energy crashes that can derail your day.
Okay, so that's the busy professional. Now let's consider the overworked parent.
Ah, yes. The superhero of the household, juggling the demands of childcare, work, household chores,
Yeah.
and often very little sleep.
Sleep often becomes the first sacrifice, right?
And often does.
You're staying up late to catch up on work or housework,
Right.
or just to enjoy a few precious moments of quiet time.
But as we discussed, chronic sleep deprivation takes a heavy toll
Wow.
on your physical and mental health.
It's like running on fumes.
Exactly. And it can lead to exhaustion, irritability, and decreased patience,
Right.
making it harder to be the present loving parent you want to be.
It creates this negative cycle.
It does.
When you're exhausted and irritable, it's harder to connect with your kids,
Uh,
which leads to feelings of guilt and frustration.
right, further impacting your happiness.
So what's the key to breaking free from this cycle?
Prioritizing sleep.
Even though it feels impossible?
Even though it feels impossible, even small adjustments can make a big difference.
Like what kind of adjustments are we talking about?
Setting a consistent bedtime for yourself and sticking to it. Even on weekends, creating a relaxing bedtime routine to wind down.
Right.
And perhaps most importantly, saying no to some things to create space for rest.
It's about recognizing that taking care of yourself is essential for being the best parent you can be.
Exactly. When you're well rested,
Uh-huh.
you're more patient, more present, and more able to enjoy those precious moments with your children.
Okay, let's shift gears one last time and look at the sedentary worker.
Yeah. Okay. Think of someone spending hours sitting at a desk
Right.
day after day with very little movement or physical activity.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is the reality for many people in today's workforce.
It is. And it's a recipe for physical discomfort,
Uh-huh.
decreased energy, and even a dip in mood.
We're not designed to sit for that long.
It can lead to muscle stiffness, back pain, and a whole host of other problems.
And it can negatively impact your mental health, too.
Yes, lack of movement can contribute to feelings of sluggishness, low motivation, and even depression.
So what's a simple solution for the sedentary worker?
Incorporating more movement throughout the day.
Okay, give us some specifics.
Get up and walk around for a few minutes every hour.
Okay.
Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Walk or bike to work if possible.
So it's about finding those opportunities to move, even if it's just for a few minutes at a time.
Exactly, and it doesn't just benefit your physical health.
Right.
Movement can boost energy levels, improve mood, and even increase productivity.
Wow. So many benefits from simply moving more. This has been such an eye-opening conversation.
It has been.
We've covered a lot of ground, laying the foundation for understanding how deeply your physical health influences your happiness.
Yes, we have.
But we're not done yet. Stay tuned. We'll be right back to dive even deeper into this fascinating connection. Welcome back. As we've explored this link between physical health and happiness, It's become clear that it's not just about feeling good physically.
No, it's about recognizing that well-being is a holistic tapestry. It's woven together by the threads of your physical, mental, and emotional health.
And when we neglect one of those threads, the entire tapestry can start to unravel. It's like ignoring a crack in the foundation of a house, right?
Right.
If you don't address it, it can lead to much bigger problems down the road.
Exactly. But the good news is you have the power to mend those threads,
Okay.
to strengthen your well-being through conscious choices and consistent effort.
It's like you're the artist of your own life.
Yes.
And you have the brush and the colors to create a masterpiece of health and happiness.
I love that.
And the best part is you don't have to be a master painter to get started.
You don't. You can start with small strokes, adding more detail and depth as you go.
Exactly. You don't need to make drastic changes overnight. Just focus on making those small, sustainable choices that feel good for you.
And remember, it's a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, challenges and triumphs along the way.
But the key is to keep moving forward, one step at a time, with self-compassion and a commitment to nourishing your body, mind, and spirit.
Because ultimately, investing in your well-being is an investment in a richer, more fulfilling life.
Absolutely. We've covered a lot of ground today, exploring the fascinating and intricate ways in which your physical health influences your happiness. We've talked about the importance of a balanced diet, regular exercise, quality sleep, and even the power of those tiny organisms living in your gut.
Yeah, it's incredible.
We've also seen how seemingly small changes can have a ripple effect, creating a positive upward spiral that benefits all aspects of your well-being.
That's right.
And perhaps most importantly, we've emphasized the power of self-compassion and the importance of approaching your health journey with kindness and understanding.
Remember, you are not alone in this journey. There are resources available to support you, and even small steps can make a big difference.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a final thought to ponder. What's one small, tangible step you can take today to nurture your physical health and move closer to that state of vibrant well-being and happiness? It could be as simple as swapping out that sugary soda for a glass of water, taking a short walk during your lunch break, or setting aside a few minutes to meditate before bed.
Yeah, those are great ideas.
Remember, even the smallest actions can have a profound impact on your overall health and happiness.
So true.
So start small, be consistent, and celebrate every victory along the way.
Love it.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of physical health and happiness.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights and practical strategies to enhance your well-being.
Remember, your happiness is within your reach. Start nurturing your physical health today and watch as your happiness blossoms.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive. Until then, be well and be happy. As we've been exploring this connection between physical health and happiness, it's become clear that it's not just about feeling good physically.
No, not at all. It's about recognizing that your well-being is a holistic tapestry, woven together by the threads of your physical, mental, and emotional health.
Right. And when we neglect one of those threads, the entire tapestry can start to unravel.
It's like ignoring a crack in the foundation of a house.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't address it, it can lead to much bigger problems down the road.
Right. But the good news is
Yes.
you have the power to mend those threads,
You do.
to strengthen your well-being
Absolutely.
through conscious choices and consistent effort.
Through conscious choices and consistent effort.
It's like you're the artist of your own life.
I love
You have the brush and the colors to create a masterpiece of health and happiness.
And the best part is you don't have to be a master painter to get started.
Right. You can start with small strokes,
Exactly.
adding more detail and depth as you go.
Adding more detail and depth as you go.
Exactly. You don't need to make drastic changes overnight.
Yeah.
Just focus on making those small, sustainable choices that feel good for you.
And remember, it's a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, challenges and triumphs along the way.
But the key is to keep moving forward,
Yes.
one step at a time, with self-compassion and a commitment to nourishing your body, mind, and spirit.
Because ultimately, investing in your well-being is an investment in a richer, more fulfilling life.
And that's a journey worth taking. We've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
exploring the fascinating and intricate ways your physical health influences your happiness.
It's amazing, isn't it?
We've talked about the importance of a balanced diet, regular exercise, quality sleep, and even the power of those tiny organisms living in your gut.
So much to consider.
We've also seen how seemingly small changes can have a ripple effect, creating a positive upward spiral that benefits all aspects of your well-being.
All aspects.
And perhaps most importantly, we've emphasized the power of self-compassion
Yes.
and the importance of approaching your health journey with kindness and understanding.
Absolutely. Remember, you are not alone in this journey.
You're not-
There are resources available to support you.
There are.
And even small steps can make a big difference.
They can. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
we want to leave you with a final thought to ponder.
Okay.
What's one small, tangible step you can take today to nurture your physical health and move closer to that state of vibrant well-being and happiness? It could be as simple as swapping out that sugary soda for a glass of water, taking a short walk during your lunch break, or setting aside a few minutes to meditate before bed.
Those are all great ideas.
Remember, even the smallest actions can have a profound impact on your overall health and happiness.
Start small, be consistent, and celebrate every victory along the way.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of physical health and happiness.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights and practical strategies to enhance your well-being.
Remember, your happiness is within your reach.
It is.
Start nurturing your physical health today and watch as your happiness blossoms.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive. Until then, be well and be happy.